So my presentation is called Collective Cunning in Irregular Groups, the FARC EP study case. For those who don't know, the FARC stands for the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia. So I'm gonna say just FARC to be quicker. So from began to develop what I have identified Cunning. I need to acknowledge first that there have been several concepts used to characterize the forms of local knowledge or local innovation in context of illegality. Some of these concepts are here on the screen. For example, one of them is metis and techne. Techne and metis is actually a Greek concept that Scott brought into the social science in the 1990s, and that Michael Kinney used in terrorism studies. And he defines, Kinney defines it as a form of crafty intelligence that bears on fluid situations which are constantly changing, opposed to techne, that is the technical knowledge that is universal, that doesn't vary across local settings. We have also, for example, the Yuha word, the Yuha concept, that is an indie word for innovative, fixed, and improvised solution born from ingenuity and cleverness. I'm quoting Radhu, Prabhu, and Ahuja, the authors behind the concept. One more, for example, is the chansei, this Chinese word that highlights the non-mainstream products or the replicas of popular brands where inventiveness and rebellion are mixed to compete with global corporations. And there are more, for example, militia indigena, the concept of tacit knowledge, and so on. Okay. Let's go back to the collective cunning concept generally as the sheer ability to assemble, enhance, or use proximal materials, knowledge, or technologies. It is the tactical intelligence stuck to innovation, to any process of innovation. And I add to it could be this tactical intelligence could be more acute due to the extreme geographies and the antagonist relation with an enemy. I divide my perspective, my research, into two dimensions. The first one is the military dimension. The military side of my work explores how the combatants manage to produce, for example, handmade R1. The R1 was the most generalized explosive in the FARC from the 1990s, and also how they use how they use the plastic and fiberglass at a widespread strategy because of the safe, waterproof, easily accessible, and low cost materials. They were the plastic and fiberglass, easily accessible and low cost materials. And I also take into account a health perspective in my research, and my work explores the medicinal use of natural plants to treat certain illnesses or injuries, and the use of proximal materials to transport injured combatants, to immobilize limbs, and to suture or make tourniquets. Let me highlight two features. Cunning, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Something
Don't worry.
happened, probably. Connor, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So please do continue.
I'm still here. Something happened with my connection. Connor?
Hi, Oscar. We can hear you. I don't know if you can hear us.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I was saying that my work also explored. Okay. The first one is the collective, and the collective and the proximal features. The collective features and the proximal feature. What does it mean? First, yeah, I can hear you. I'm gonna turn off my camera just to see if. Fine. Okay, so I was talking about the collective of the word cunning. Yeah, my concept. Collective nature, Parian handbooks, in the FARC handbooks. What you are seeing right now on the screen, the basic course of medicine, they present in this section 3 levels of medical attention. So the first one would be the first aid level. The second one is a more advanced level in which they provide, for example, intravenous fluids or carry out transfusions, as well as amputation, tracheotomies, abdominal surgeries, chest draining, and so on. And the third one is more specialized attention. It's X-rays or bacteriology labs, and they perform more complex surgeries. So, and that's okay, part of my argument is that Cunning um, in the FARC try to be always collective because of the handbooks they prepare and they diffuse, they extend to all their blocks. Um, so these handbooks are ways of alignment of knowledge. Yeah, they try to align knowledge, and they try to create doctrine through um, health knowledge or medical knowledge. The second feature I would like to highlight is the proximal feature next to the word cunning. What is proximal? I take this concept from other authors like Yusenyu, Hishalo, and Whalen, and I define it like the materials, knowledge close in proximity. Okay, for example, the medicinal use of natural plants to treat basic illnesses and injuries was part of the FARC Cunning in health. You can see here uh, plants, some kind of plants, and the medicinal use they gave to those plants. And I quote one of my interviewees, a nurse at the Caribbean block of the FARC, and she says something like, "There was a moment in which we no longer had medicine to cure ourselves, but rather we cure ourselves with plants. Since 2002 and onward, it was difficult for us to get even acetaminophen due to questions of security. It was difficult to bring medication in. So what I did was this this figure with plants and medicinal uses, and I took them from the handbooks. Actually, they are in the handbooks. They suggest the use of some plants to cure some injury or illness, or to treat some illness. So for me, it's really important, these two features: the collective nature of Cunning and the proximal nature of Cunning. And and I would like to highlight these two, because these work all the time, just next to the word cunning. Well, in terms of difference between the military and the health side of the cunning, I will say that they are different in terms of development and functionality. While in the military side, the FARC managed to build combat devices, in the health field, they didn't. Unlike the military side, Cunning in health remained at a basic level of care and didn't include the construction of complex medical or dental devices. So the military cunning can be identified more with physical technologies, with artifacts, whereas the health cunning with more social technologies, or with techniques, yeah, and not necessarily with artifacts. Also, the functionality was different. While the skill, the cunning use of explosive work to deceive the enemy, the skill use, the cunning, the skill use of knowledge and materials in health work to heal. So I think I'm gonna stop here, but that's the general topic I would like to present.